Since 1912, the Royal Rosarians have proclaimed the rose to be the queen of flowers and Portland to be the rose capital of the world. We have developed a legacy of tradition and rich heritage, unknown by any other organization. But how did it all start? In 1905, Portland hosted the Lewis and Clark Exposition, and 50,000 rose bushes were planted along the city streets and the parade route, making quite an impression on guests. Mayor Harry Lane wanted Portland to continue to attract visitors, and in 1907, the first Rose Carnival and Fiesta was held. Portland became known around the world as the City of Roses. Several years later, a group of businessmen from Portland's Commercial Club appointed a committee chaired by William J. Hoffman. Members of the committee included C.C. Craig, Henry Piddock, Ralph Hoyt, and others. The committee's purpose was to take representatives of the Portland Commercial Club to the Seattle Potlatch celebration. While traveling back to Portland, members discussed the idea of Portland having its own organization to host out-of-town visitors, and in a smoky train car on the return trip from Seattle, the idea of the Royal Rosarians was formed. A few days later, they presented their idea to Julius Meyer. It was decided that an organization be formed with 100 members, and the individuals would be selected from the business and professional men of the community. The Rose Festival was asked to issue a proclamation with the purpose of forming the organization. That meeting, with 75 in attendance, was held June 17, 1912. On that date, the Royal Rosarians were formally organized, and the mythical realm of Rosaria was founded. Their original mission was to encourage the growth of roses and host the out-of-town visitors to Portland. The Rosarians would represent Portland and be the ambassadors of the Rose Festival. They would manage the pageantry and the spectacle of the festival. Over the years, the mission grew to that of the official greeters and ambassadors of goodwill for the city of Portland. Their main objective was to promote the best interest of the city and the Rose Festival, and to provide the pageantry to the city. There is no other organization like the Royal Rosarians. Later, they developed the edict, the code of conduct, based on truth and honor, and the foundations of the pageantry we still use today. Our uniform specifications were determined: the white double-breasted suit. It has basically remained unchanged since our founding. There have been only 2 changes to our trademark uniform. The original fedora-style hat was changed a few years after the original specifications to a hat that more matched the style of 1913, the now famous straw hat. And the second change happened in the 50s, from the white tie to the red tie we still wear today. The purpose of this change was to allow color to be seen on the new colored TV screens. In 1967, the green jacket was adopted for use at non-formal events and for travel. The titles of the officers of the Rosarian Council are derived from the court of King Henry VII, the King of England. The title of Prime Minister, first held by W.J. Hoffman, would become the organization's leading title, a title that would last and is still used today. Over the past 100 years, we've gone to airports, train stations, hotels, bus stations, ships, and even the circus to greet visitors and welcome them to Portland on behalf of the city and of the mayor. We have greeted political officials like President Harry Truman and other presidents, emperors, ambassadors, and even a sheikh from Saudi Arabia. Among many others, we've greeted sports figures, military leaders, and celebrities like Eleanor Roosevelt, James Earl Jones, Frank Sinatra, and Carol Channing. We have crowned the Rose Festival Queen, and queens of all statures. And we are very proud to escort the court. We have planted recognition roses in over 30 countries and around the Northwest and across the United States, all while inviting others to come to Portland and enjoy our city, hospitality, and our Rose Festival. We bestow honorary knighthood on distinguished and deserving members of the community to recognize them for their contribution to society. We have honored such entertainers such as Orville Redenbacher, Arthur Godfrey, Betty White, Hopalong Cassidy, Hank Aaron, and other sports figures and entertainers. In addition, we have knighted politicians, military leaders, Olympic gold medalists, astronauts, and festival heads, to mention just a few. We have also knighted a mouse, a duck, and even an elephant. In the past, we have been present at historic events. In 1926, we participated in the dedication of the Burnside Bridge, and in 1937, we were present at the dedication of the Golden Gate Bridge. We were at the original dedication of the Vista House and the opening of the Columbia River Highway, and we were there 100 years later for their rededication. We have traveled to exotic places around the world, such as Hawaii, Greece, Australia, Texas, and Washington, D.C., to mention just a few of the places we have visited in North America, Asia, South America, and Europe. During World War I, there was no Rose Festival, but the Rosarians continued to take care of their community and hosted the national encampment of the Grand Army of the Republic. In addition, we continued to provide community service and kept the momentum going, while many of our members served in the war. During World War II, the festival was canceled again, and the Rosarians once again changed their focus to community service and support of the war effort. Many of our members served in the military, while those Rosarians at home visited veterans in the hospitals. In 1942, they raised $5,000 to provide facilities for a blood bank for local disasters. In 1989, women were invited to join the Royal Rosarians. This was after some pressure by the City Council and discussion by the membership. But finally, women were invited to join the organization and become dames in the realm of Rosaria. The first 3 women to be knighted were Dee Denton, Patricia Hufford, and Rosalie Pauley. Women began to serve on committees and participate as full members, and in 1997, the first woman, Jane Beach, was elected to the council. That same year, Patty Hufford was appointed to council as a Red Cape. Since then, women have served on the council every year. And in October of 2009, Sue Klobertans was installed as our first woman prime minister. In 1996, the Royal Rosarian Foundation was formed to support the charitable activities of the Royal Rosarians. This 501c3 organization has 2 areas of focus: the Roses Program and Community Spirit. The Roses Program, that is, Rosarians offering support and encouragement to students, focuses on the care and well-being of the greater Portland community, especially at-risk children. Thousands of children have benefited from these grants. The Community Spirit funding goes to support the Rose Festival events and parade floats for both the Grand Floral Parade and floats for festivals and parades around the Pacific Northwest. During our centennial, we erected a statue of a Rosarian doffing his hat and welcoming visitors to the Royal Rosarian Garden in Washington Park. And all of this was done with the support, hard work, and love of our spouses. They have always been a big part of this organization. They cheer us on, help organize, help plan our events, travel with us to points across the globe, and we thank them dearly. The Royal Rosarian started with 75 members and has grown to nearly 300. By mayoral proclamation, we are still the official greeters and ambassadors of goodwill for the city of Portland. We have traveled around the United States and the world sharing our slogan, "For you a rose in Portland grows." With their continued help and dedication, this organization will thrive and continue to add to this rich history in the years ahead. One thing we know, it will be fun.